new InnovEU episode, new chronicles for you. And this week we'll be talking about the digital transition and making some comparison between the United States and the EU. Then we'll have a great interview with Walaa Farid from Egypt, the Mediterranean Youth Foundation. I hope I pronounced her name correct. I believe I did this time. I hope you enjoy that interview. She works a lot with Erasmus, but not just. It's nice. It's worth watching. And we close with a discussion about an open call for the Digital Europe call for development and deployment of advanced key technologies. So this is a digital episode of InnovEU. Hope you enjoy it. Bye. So this episode of InnovEU carries on the obsession with the Draghi report. We will continue talking about it. It's an important issue. Come on, the digital transition is very important for the economic competitiveness. So in this episode, I want to look at it not just from the eyes of an European who suddenly found out that Europe is lagging behind, but I want to look at it at the consequences that can be taken from there worldwide. From the Western economies' point of view, the Southern economies, anyone. So what the Draghi report basically says, and that's what I believe makes it so important, is that Europe or the EU is lagging behind US and China in digital innovation. It also says that only four of the top 50 global tech companies are European. And it claims that the EU is very much dependent on non-EU providers for key technologies like AI, like the cloud services, semiconductors, and everything else. So basically, the Draghi report identifies 5 challenges. And these are quite relevant, but they are relevant for the European Union economy, for our society's evolution, but they're also relevant for the rest of the world. It claims that there is an innovation gap in digital technologies. So China and the US are innovating faster than the EU in digital technologies. It also claims that it's very difficult to scale up digital startups in Europe. It claims that one of the problems is the fragmental digital single market. It basically says there's no single market. It's very, very much fragmented. And it also says there is a shortage of skills in the digital sectors, and there is insufficient investment in digital R&D. So maybe we should look at the numbers, look at the facts as much as we can. Because in this area, in the digital transition, it's been a key area for the European Commission. They talk about it more than anything else, the twin transition, digital and green transition. But it has also been quite key in the economic speech in the States and most of the Western world. If we compare the European Union and US support programs, we can see that in Europe, the programs that support the digital transition, they are mostly the Horizon Europe, which budget is 95.5 billion, a lot of zeros. The Digital Europe program with 7.5 billion. Okay, it's a lot of money, but it's much smaller. And the Recovery and Resilience Facility claims that each member state must spend 20% of its allocation in digital transition. If you look at the US, you can identify mostly the CHIPS Act with $52.7 billion, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act tech provisions with $65 billion. And then there is a lot of AI research funding with billions allocated across various agencies, which is a nice way to say that I couldn't find a number for this investment, but it's big. And this kind of highlights what Draghi says about the underinvestment by the EU. Because if you look at the numbers, and the EU has a larger population, and it's probably starting behind, so it should be investing more and not less than the United States. However, I don't think that's only a matter of numbers of dollars or euros. It's not enough to shower money on the problem and it will go away. And you can see there is a huge difference in the approaches taken by the programs on each side of the Atlantic. The US programs tend to be more focused. They have clear objectives, and they are often more direct support for the private sector innovation. While the Europeans are this attempt to mix the free market with the central planning. I think we can take a whole episode to talk about that. But you can also say that the US programs tend to typically be implemented more quickly. The Horizon Europe spreads across 7 years, each programming period. And the US also, the American programs also tend to be less bureaucratic. Okay, so if you look at these numbers, how can you evaluate Draghi's conclusions? Well, in my opinion, his conclusions are based on the dollars and euros invested, not on results. And as I said earlier, that's not synonymous. On the other hand, his conclusions are based mostly on indirect evidence. He claims that there are no European unicorns. Yep, that's true. However, there's more to the economy than unicorns. Actually, the economy, both in the States and Europe, is not made of unicorns. SMEs are the basis of the economy. How are SMEs going through this digital transition? How are they doing? No clue about that from his report. And you can also see that even though what he says is clearly true about underinvestment, the situation is not the same in different sectors as we saw last episode. So, my conclusion, we need hard evidence to know what really is going on. It's not enough just to, and that's where I don't agree with his recommendations, increase and coordinate EU-level investment in digital. It's not enough to put more money in it. I'm not even sure if we need more money. You have to have a better assessment before accepting that conclusion. He also recommended to complete the digital single market. Completely agree. I don't know anyone who doesn't agree with that, but okay, apparently it's not easy. Improve conditions for scaling up digital companies. I would say improve conditions for scaling up any European company. It's not easy to, it's much harder to scale up a European company than an American or Chinese one. And that's the main reason why many European-born unicorns then go to grow or die in America or China. Because conditions in Europe are not fantastic for that. And actually the Commission identified that, and it created programs like the InvestEU to try to close that gap. So maybe that's something that could be improved. What are the other recommendations by Draghi? Enhance digital skills training. Yeah. Everywhere in the world, but I do believe that this is by nature this is something that people will reskill themselves when they need to. It's not just create the programs you have to create other conditions. This is also an issue for another episode. And finally, he recommends to strengthen EU position in key technologies, which is quite a very, how do you say that in a nice way? An empty statement. What does this mean? Nothing that you can take hard conclusions from, or you can take actions from. So what I think we need is hard evidence about what's going on. How is the digital transition going on? Not just how many unicorns are here and how many are in the States, but what's going on with the economy as a whole. And I think we'll have that next Friday in the much anticipated webinar unveiling the AWTY, the Arwidariat Index, the digital component of it. At least for me, it's much anticipated because I've been talking about that for a long time. And next week in the podcast, we'll have a sneak view of it. So I hope you like this. See you next week. We are here for another interview for the InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles. We have with us Walaa from the Mediterranean Youth Foundation. You're talking with us from Egypt. Are you in Cairo?
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. Yes, I'm Walaa Farid from Egypt. I'm living Cairo, and I work at Mediterranean Youth Foundation for Development. And actually, Mediterranean Youth Foundation, it's a youth women lead organization based in Egypt and Estonia. And it's working to enhance the regional integration and youth participation in the mobility program in the Euro-Mediterranean region.
Okay, no, I thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. This is an interesting situation. You are based both, the organization is based both in Egypt and Estonia. Do you care to tell us a little bit about the history of this? How was it born? How did you think about creating this? How old is it?
Actually, it's established in 2018 in Egypt, in Cairo. This was our first branch. Our first branch was in Egypt, in Cairo, Egypt, and the second was Estonia. How it's done? First, Mediterranean Youth Foundation established in 2018 in Egypt, and then in 2019 we got the quality label for the European Union, and then in 2020 we obtained the King Hamad Award. This is the Kingdom of Al Bahrain for youth empowerment to achieve the sustainable the SDGs. And then in 2018 we obtained the United Nations and BMW Prize for innovation and intercultural dialogue for our project's document on human fraternity, dialogue on human fraternity document. And then we began to be a member in many international networks. Our first branch was in Egypt, and then we
so you also established a branch in Estonia. Why Estonia?
Yes. Estonia is one of the EU countries. Egypt is a partner countries in the European Union programs. So we and coordinate. We think about to have a second branch in Estonia to empower more youth to participate in the mobility programs under the Erasmus Plus and under the European Commission programs. So it was our idea to establish a new branch in Estonia. And we are thinking now to establish our third branch in Europe in the next years.
Did you think where would you open the third branch? Did you think about that? Do you have ideas about that?
Sorry, I didn't hear you well in this part.
I was asking if you have plans for the place where you will open the third branch.
Yes, our third branch, we think it maybe it will be one of the Euro-Mediterranean countries. Maybe it will be in Greece, maybe in Spain, maybe in France. Really, we didn't decide it yet. Yes.
Okay, so in that time, your organization has accomplished quite a lot for what you just said. How did you work? What was your experience with the EU-funded projects? What was the role these projects had on your activity?
Okay. Actually, MYF holded the quality label and accreditation from the European Union. From this perspective, and the Mediterranean Foundation is a youth women-led organization. We working on the Erasmus Plus projects and ESC projects. Actually, from the first day, we involved in the Erasmus Plus projects, Key Action 1 and Key Action 2, and we succeeded also to implement Key Action 2 projects in Egypt. In Key Action 2 in Key Action 1 projects, we were a partner in more than 50 projects. Where we was a partner in more than 50 projects under Erasmus Plus cultural exchange and training courses with our partner from the Euro-Mediterranean countries, and also we implemented the ESC, the European Solidarity Corps project in Egypt in 2023. It was about the international volunteering and climate change, and we seeking to host ESC volunteers in next month in Egypt for a short-term program. So the European Commission programs, Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps, is one of the most important projects, and it's a part of the work of Mediterranean Youth Foundation. We working to promote the participation of Egyptian youth, especially those youth from rural Mediterranean, from rural region, to participate in these programs. We support them starting from establish their chance through our social media accounts, and then selecting the participants and support them in the visa process, and support them with the preparations programs, and also not just we support the youth started from the we support the youth from establish the chance or the program through our social media accounts, and then select the participants and support them through the visa process, and know more information about the Erasmus Plus, and also how they can deal with the people with different backgrounds and different countries.
Okay, and I have to ask you a question. It's not always easy, but I think it's important. I ask everyone this. Can you measure, or do you have a feeling about the impact of the projects you have been working on? Can you feel the results of these projects on the Egyptian youth or on your target audiences?
Yes, I see that Erasmus Plus, it's a chance for the youth here in Egypt, the Egyptian youth, and MYF is encourage the youth, especially the youth from rural area, to participate in the mobility programs and Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps as well. Actually, it's a chance for the youth on their personal and professional career, because it's not Erasmus Plus program. It's not a chance to participate in the program and travel to another country. It's a journey. It's a journey. New people from different countries, from different cultures, and you learn from them. And also, these programs provide you with the new skills, and the new information, and enhance your skills in unprofessional and a personal growth. Yes.
No, yeah, no. I think that's a little bit the reflection of these new ages, these new days. Because right now, I mean, we are having this interview. I'm in Lisbon. You are in Cairo. That's quite the two extremes of the Mediterranean area, and we are in this world of connection, where people need to be open and ready for intercultural work at any time. Speaking of which, I have one final question. Not the final. I have two more questions. So one is this, and don't you feel sometimes that you are in the periphery of the decision centers? You are far from the decision centers. You are far from Brussels, sorry, and that kind of is a problem. I ask you this question because I'm also in a peripheral country. Lisbon is a long way from Brussels. Do you feel that is a problem for our organizations, or do you feel that there's no difference where you are in space?
Okay. To answer this question, I want to make sure with you that I got your question. You ask about that if I feel that if MYF or Egypt is far away about the decisions that makes in Brussels.
Well, it's far, we know it's far away. My question is, do you feel that is a problem? Do you feel that our organizations that are in the periphery, that are far away from the decision centers, are somehow harmed, are somehow, how do you say that in English? Wait a minute, I'm missing the word. Our organizations are in a disadvantage because we are far from the decision centers?
Okay, that's a hard question.
Sorry.
Yes, actually, yes. Sometimes, yes. Of course, we feel that we are far away from Brussels, and we actually don't talk about the distance. We talk about the decisions. We talk about um, the financial support, and yes, we somehow feel that. Because I see from my perspective, I am from Egypt. I work as youth mobility manager. We face a challenges regarding to the financial support, regarding to deal with partners, which are the applicant or the coordinator organizations. We face a big challenges regarding the implement our project, especially here in Egypt. For example, last year we implement the European Solidarity Corps project, and we faced a big problems with the applicant, with the applicant organization, and we wanted to contact with the Brussels, and we faced a big problem to contact the Brussels regarding the problem. So yes, we feel that we are far away from Brussels, and I suggest to we can make as yani, how can I say it in English? Just say I suggest that there be a point of contact between Brussels and between the partner countries, because some institutions and some organizations facing challenges and facing big problems with applicant and coordinator organizations, and they are unable to reach out to process.
You're not the only one saying that. I've heard that before, that it's hard to contact European institutions. And actually,
Yeah.
I've gone through that with this podcast. I try to have someone from the European institutions in the podcast, and basically there was no reply. So I probably didn't reach the right points, because it's hard to know where to call,
Yes.
where to send an email.
Yes. We hope so. Yeah, we hope so.
One final question. What's your plans for the future? What would you like to be doing, in what kind of projects? What would you like to do in the near future?
Okay. For my organization, we working on Erasmus Plus, and we looking forward to implement more projects related to Erasmus and related to European Solidarity Corps in Egypt. We are looking for hosting the youth from the Euro-Mediterranean countries in our projects in Egypt. And also we work on new horizons regarding the mobility programs and European Commission programs like Horizon Europe. We see that's a very important program, and also another programs like Interreg NestMed, the Quick for Med, and that was our Euro-Mediterranean partners. For me, as Youth Mobility Manager at Mediterranean Youth Foundation, I hope to work more to help the Egyptian youth to participate in the mobility programs, because they want a chance. The Egyptian youth have no. Okay, the Egyptian youth have the passion and have they are ready to participate in these programs, and they want to participate in these programs. They want someone to help them, someone to support them, and I hope that I will be this person with my organization to help more youth from Egypt to participate in the mobility programs.
Very good. Okay, great. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will help. Any final words to close the interview?
Sorry, I didn't got your question.
I was asking if you have any final words to close, any final message.
No, thank you so much.
Okay.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate with you in this podcast. I hope that I did well.
I'm sure you
thank
did.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was Walaa Farid. I hope I did it better this time, from Cairo, talking to us about her experience. And thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. And,
thank you.
Are you ready to take your organization to the next level in cybersecurity innovation? The European Union is calling on organizations to be part of the change. Introducing the Digital ECCC 2024 Deploy Cyber 07 call for proposals under the Digital Europe program. This is a chance to contribute to Europe's cybersecurity capabilities by building on advanced technologies. This call aims at deploying advanced key technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and big data to secure critical infrastructures, essential services, and digital networks across Europe. The program is looking for technology companies, especially SMEs, as well as national cybersecurity authorities and competence centers to join. This is a unique opportunity for legal entities based in the EU and eligible EEA countries to become a central part of the EU's digital transformation. Organizations can apply as individual entities or, even better, as part of a consortium involving partners from at least 3 eligible countries. This collaboration can make a significant impact. The funding rate is up to 75% for SMEs and 50% for other applicants, ensuring that research and innovation initiatives can become reality. What outcomes are expected? Cutting-edge real-time cybersecurity monitoring, automated threat detection tools, and cross-border intelligence sharing platforms. All of these will help to create a safer digital ecosystem across the EU. And there is substantial support available. The total budget for this call is €102.8 million, with €35 million dedicated specifically to the development and deployment of advanced key technologies. Key dates to remember: the call is open now, with the deadline for submission on January 21, 2025. Evaluations will take place in early 2025, and successful projects will kick off later that year. Now is the time to prepare proposals and get involved. Don't miss this opportunity to be part of Europe's digital security future. For more details, including how to apply, visit the EU Funding and Tenders portal. It's time to work together for a safer, smarter, and more resilient digital Europe.
InnovEU, the EU Project Chronicles, is a weekly video podcast. Please subscribe the Polixdocs newsletter to receive every podcast episode. And if you like receiving it, please press like in whatever platform you are watching or listening. Also, please share InnovEU and Polixdocs with anyone you feel will enjoy it. Credits: author and host Fernando C. Gaspar, music Hugo Gaspar, Lisbon, Portugal, 2024. Reach us by email or DM.